So money means nothing, and you can't sell your soul. I dream a world where we all grow, learn from our past, and let things.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Art Talk with Susanna Baker, the only show bringing you all the cultural happenings from the canvas to the red carpet. And now this year, as you know, every year we have Art Basel and Miami Art Week. We are super excited to have someone who's kicking it off in the month of November, getting the buzz out there. And with me this morning, I have the amazing and talented Valerie David Kaye. Good morning.
Good morning, Susanna. Thank you for having me.
I am so happy to have you. And also visiting us is David Rosen from David Rosen Galleries. Good morning.
Good morning. Excited to be here again.
Yeah, I'm excited. Listen, Valerie, you almost didn't make it, but I'm happy you're here.
Yes.
This is exciting because your story needs to be told. You're an inspiration. And I love to tell stories about women and women that own businesses and women that give back to the community. My hashtag is you don't live if you don't give.
Oh, that's good.
And you're an amazing, you're the queen behind an amazing empire, a story that is so Miami. Mm-hmm. You were born and raised in Miami, right?
Yes, correct.
Where were you born, or what area were you? What schools did you graduate from?
I was born in North Miami General Hospital, which is now Johnson and Wales, which is just a few minutes from, ironically, the dealership.
Okay.
And I actually graduated from Archbishop Curley High, which is a minute away from our spot in the design district.
It's really funny. My son went there too.
You're kidding.
Yeah,
Wow.
he did. Yeah, I lived down the block.
Okay.
But design district is a special place. It's a dynamic place, and it seems to go full circle with you and your story. So for you listening, Valerie David Kaye is an artist as well. As well. She's morphed into an amazing abstract expressionist artist. She does amazing contemporary art, but she also does something that is a little retro twist. What was the inspiration of you getting into art?
It was definitely my father from the beginning. He was so talented, and I've always said he was Leonardo da Vinci reincarnated. And I grew up watching him behind a drawing board and got to see all of the amazing art that he did and the places around Miami as he became a commercial interior designer, doing all the famous spots, things for the Fontainebleau, Seacoast Towers for Stephen Muss, part of the Joe Stone Crabs.
So he did a lot of
all the country
renovations.
clubs, all the restaurants, everything.
And that was the time to do things. I mean, the stomping ground for the rich and famous, without a doubt, was the Design District, Decorators Row, as you call it, with the famous restaurant Piccadilly's.
Yes.
I was there in '93 when I got into the Design District. Beautiful family, too. Your mom is just gorgeous. You look just like her.
Thank
I
you.
have to tell you, so let's talk a little bit about how you grew up native of Miami. Your father comes in town, sets shop in the Design District, goes to buy a car, and your mother takes you along, and there's a dealership on Biscayne Boulevard, and the name of the dealership is?
Prestige Imports.
Prestige Imports. I bet you a lot of Miamians right now, their ears are ringing.
That's
That
right.
is an iconic name. It's a brand. It's a story behind that whole Prestige Imports. And so you go in there with your mom, your dad purchases a car, and out comes your ex-husband, Irv David.
Correct.
And he is smitten. Once he sees you, that's it. It's history. A couple of decades older than you, but he knew what he wanted. And you guys had a history there with 3 beautiful children.
Yes.
And 13 years ago, he passes away of a heart attack in his sleep. And his son, Brett, is there, as you said, with balloons waiting to surprise his father, only to open the door and find that that chapter has closed and a new one has opened. And with the matriarch of your direction and guidance and wisdom as his mother, you continue him as the operational CEO, executive director, and you as the creative director. You don't sell the business. He doesn't sell the business, which is amazing. And you continue to grow this empire. Something very dear to the hearts of Miamians. Anybody looking at Miami knows it's sexy, beautiful people, gorgeous cars. And so your family definitely represents that whole era of Miami Vice and all the fancy schmancy cars. But let's go now with this amazing show that you're kicking off in the Design District on 39th Street, Northeast 2nd Avenue, across from Luminaire, and east of Northeast 2nd Corner. And David Rosen Galleries comes and works with you to create these amazing, exotic car and art shows. How did you meet Valerie?
Well, I met Brett and Valerie probably about 15 years ago in North Miami at their dealership. And what an amazing family. I mean, you see here the mother. I mean, if you guys could see virtually through here, if you see the show or look at Susanna's Facebook. I mean, Valerie, you look younger than I look. But anyhow,
great Italian genes.
Wow, and so we had this friendship for many years, and through commercial real estate, as we spoke of, I got involved in popping up art galleries in vacant spaces, and I approached the Davids, approached Brett and Valerie, and I said, would you sponsor some of my shows? I would love to have this $7 million Pagani in front of my gallery. Would you partner with me on some of these shows? And they didn't hesitate, and they said yes.
That's
and
great.
Not only did they say yes, but they're so giving, not only with charity work and giving back, but non-pretentious, real people that run an amazing enterprise, amazing business. And they're like, not only we'll give you the cars, but we'll invite our 40-year history of amazing buyers of these exotic cars and planes and yachts and real estate, and we'll help you. And they didn't ask me for anything.
Yeah, and that's
it was
amazing.
Just a friendship, a true friendship. And that's how we started. As they were a sponsor.
And so I have to tell you, I live in the Design District, and I took my family 2 weekends ago, and Craig Robbins sent an invitation about the show of exotic cars and art, and I said, I have to see, because after the hot summer that Miami had, and I'm in art tours, I have a art experience. It's all about design, explore the arts, and it's really quiet in Miami for art, tours. And so to hear about this show is like, yes, art season's here. We're starting with this first art and exotic car, and it's in the Design District. It's going to be an awesome show. So I go there, and I see some incredible cars, but the art is fabulous too. And then I see illustration. And illustration to me is, I don't want to age myself, but it's an important part of Americana pop culture. And before there was photography, there were illustrators. And it was a way of getting the message out. And your father, Louis Clerico, he did that in World War II. He became an illustrator, created a newsletter to let everyone know. Now you have his illustrations.
Yes.
And how did you get inspired to use them as a canvas? Did one day you walk in, because I've seen your book, and your book as a contemporary artist is pretty amazing. I mean, look at this work. I mean, it's really pop of color. You actually play with color beautifully. You have
Look at this Sharpie project you did. Very, very cool.
A freehand?
Oh, yes. That was after the Sharpie car was done.
Wow. I have to tell you, you have a lot of different, it looks like a lot of personalities. that are coming out through these drawings. I mean, just beautiful. And I have to tell you, I didn't expect this because I really didn't, as I turn each page, I saw in that gallery, besides in front of a beautiful old Ferrari, red cherry Ferrari, there's a great canvas that is covered in old CP coloring illustration, cartoon animation. And then there is this abstract American flag. And it's just so cool, especially with this like vintage Ferrari. Just really a good setup, good curation. And I wanted to know about the art. And David was, he's great. Great curator, David Rosen, of this event. And he's so giving. And he laid out the show. And it's very challenging to lay out a show, especially when cars come in and out. And I know they do.
Yes.
And it's just great to see the narrative and the flow of art and cars. Not an easy job. And he explains who you are, Valerie David Kaye. Tell me what inspired you and what we could expect more of.
Well, it really is thanks to David that my collection even is there at the gallery, and I really appreciate it. I needed the push. Every once in a while, I'll go into the collection that I have at home, and when I want to remember my dad. And the last time David came into the showroom, I started telling him about it, and I said, I have this unique idea of taking my dad's old war art and painting over it. And David said, you have to do this. Yes. And we went and we had things reprinted. I have all the originals, but we took them and printed them on canvas, and then I just did what I do best in my favorite times when no one is around, and started painting on top of it, and almost felt like my dad was watching. And it was really special, because I've always wanted the world to see his art. So it was a perfect combination of being able to bring.
And you never did that before in your showrooms? Ever put your art out? Never. It was just a car dealership showroom.
Well, actually, our newest showroom that we call 2.0, next to Lamborghini Miami, is
Where's
that fabulous.
Located?
Right next door. Next door. It was
Give 'em the
actually the
address,
old
Val. What's the
Walgreens. It's 15050 Biscayne Boulevard.
Nice.
And there were 5 columns. There's so much color with all the cars that are in that showroom, and it's really all glass. And there were 5 columns, and I do have car art in there that I've done for different models of cars. So there's art there, and
that you did, or
that I did.
Oh, good.
That I
good.
did.
Oh, I'm going to see it.
That was
amazing.
really fun. And I'm more of an introvert, and it was fun to see and hear everyone's feedback.
Well, I think Valerie David Kaye, you're in a new chapter of your life. I think
so.
that you're entering a whole nother door. It was there. It was destined to be. You didn't even open it. It just opened, and as you step through that threshold, you're exactly where you were supposed to be.
Yes.
And that's the truth. And you know what? You're bringing all the best people with you, alive and not alive. They're there to inspire you and to carry you. I saw that. I saw also the curator and David Rosen. The energy is so amazing. And that is so important. Mm-hmm. And the story of your family and what your son continues to do. Most kids nowadays, they're like, oh, thanks, Dad and Mom, thanks. I'm selling this. I'm getting out of here. It's not easy to continue to stabilize a major company, to continue to make it grow. And everybody has their own relevant issues behind your own doors, but you guys keep raising the bar. And I love the fact that you gave back to the community. Tell us a little bit about your foundation, Ride to Revive. What is Ride to Revive?
Ride to Revive is our wonderful 501c3 that the kids and I started in 2011. And it really started when one day a father brought in his teenage son who had cancer, and it was terminal. And Brett said, let me take you for a ride, because he obviously came to the showroom for his love of cars. And Brett took him for a ride in a Lamborghini. And when he came back, the father was in awe to see the smile on this young boy's face that he hadn't seen in such a long time. And we started talking about the concept of that we are around these cars all the time, but what it really does to young and old. These automobiles are just so special. So
oh yeah, the endorphins go right through the roof.
They do. So we started Ride to Revive for children undergoing medical treatment for life-threatening illnesses, to revitalize their senses and give them hope. And we do an annual track event. Our 9th annual is March 1st. 2020 at the Homestead Speedway.
Oh, awesome.
And we have
we're
children.
Going to bring you back. That's in March.
That's in March, yes.
So you're coming back to
Yes.
talk about that and tell our people. And I want to help as much as I can with the foundation.
Well,
the Art
thank you.
Experience is very much about philanthropy. Everything we do, we give. Any dollar we make, we give at least 10% back
Oh, that's
to
wonderful.
different Marsha Rabinowitz Legal
Yes.
Services of Greater Miami. I've been with them
Yes.
for 9 years,
I know them
helping
well.
them. Yeah, and it's a great community. Miami is full of life, and people like you, Valerie David Kaye and the David family and your 3 children, Brett,
Brooke, and Dax.
and Dax, and David Rosen, who seems to be the adopted 4th one here.
Yes.
I feel so fortunate. Yeah.
It's amazing. And so now, November through the end of December,
Yes.
this prestige import exotic art car and art show will be having events. How can we find out more about the events?
Well, Prestige Imports will have it on their Instagram, which is Prestige Imports. I will definitely be having it on my Instagram, which is David Rosen Galleries.
And to see Valerie's art, do you have a website? Have you put up your art, or it's going to be developed?
Going to be developed, the website.
So it's going to be developed. In the interim, whoever wants to know more can Instagram Prestige Imports.
Prestige Imports, David Rosen Galleries, or www.davidrosengalleries.com. We'll be posting information there on the events and the different artists and the curated shows that we'll be doing.
Exactly. And I have to tell you guys, Prestige Imports, amazing story of Miami, iconic to the story all the way from the 70s, present day, what they're doing with their corporation, the lovely Valerie David Kaye, what she's doing with her foundation and her art. There's more to come. So God bless you all. Art Talk with Susanna Baker comes every Friday, bringing you everything from the canvas to the red carpet. Have a blessed weekend. Thank you, Valerie.
Susanna.
Thank you, David.
Susanna.
Thank you so much.